What's good? We back. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the boxing clinic. Y'all know what it is, man. Before we get into the topic of discussion, man, I got some heat coming, Monday. May do one Sunday night, but we got prediction videos coming for Eubanks and Junior versus George Groves. Also Ronald the Thrill Garville and the David Benavidez rematch for the super middleweight WBC title of the world, and also Brandon Rios and Danny Garcia and Victor Ortiz and Devin Alexander. Those are be the ones I do next week. So be on the lookout for those as well. And I'm gonna show these guys how to do, breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? And we put a lot of blood, sweat, tears into breaking down the fights. It's tedious, but it's really not time consuming. It don't take me long to really see what I need to see. But we back. It's the boxing clinic, man, and we talking about Deontay Wilder. And it seems that Deontay is pretty much he's making a novice mistake, a rookie mistake, and look like he looking past Luis King Kong Ortiz. He said, I'm looking past him, and Wilder, he's not that type of fighter that should be looking past a guy like Ortiz, man. Ortiz is a dangerous guy, and contrary to a lot of people's belief, I'm a side with casual boxing talk, man. With this one, man, I always don't side with dude. I ain't saying that he don't know boxing, but this one, I wouldn't be surprised if Luis Ortiz, starts Wilder or beat Wilder. I haven't decided. I haven't broke down film on that fight yet. We know it's March 3rd. It's the same night as Demetrius Bivol and Sullivan Barrera with Kovalev, the main event in New York City. But it's gonna be a good fight. But as far as Wilder, man, he's not in that position, and neither is Anthony Joshua. If you're Terrence Crawford and you say, okay, I'm looking past this guy, I can believe it because I know Bud is the real deal. I know he's the real deal. Even though I know Terrence Bud Crawford is not the type of guy that look past the guy, but he got the clout and he got the trinkets, he got the awards, he got the belts, he got the clout, to be able to do that. And Wilder, bro, ain't got that, man. I like him a lot, but he needs to be focused. It seems like he talking a lot about Anthony Joshua, and he jumped. We talked about how he stepped off his 50-50 stance, and that's smart. As long as he get the deal that that Parker got with Joshua, is now the 70. If Joseph Parker beat Joshua, the 70 split will be in Parker's favor. So, and then Joshua get 30. So basically, Parker putting his money where his mouth is, and so is Deontay Wilder. But I would expect Eddie Hearn to put another hurdle up not to make that happen. And I'm not going to get too deep into, Joshua and Wilder, though. But, I believe, Eddie Hearn is trying to run out the time and go to HBO. That's why he's able to get Danny Jacobs a five-fight deal and do work with Miller and get on my HBO as well. Is because the HBO already knows Joshua's in the bag. And that's pretty much what it is. They know Joshua's in the bag, and he going to HBO to complicate Wilder and things of that nature. But I don't think Wilder has a television deal with Showtime, so he can go over to, HBO and do his thing. But, I just hate the fact that Wilder's looking past Ortiz. Ortiz is good. I don't know what type of good he is without the steroids or whatever. And Latif Coyote, man, the guy that he got popped with for the first time it was on FS1. And I heard him talk about in the news with Vilified Media. If you want that link, I'll send it to you. But Vilified Media did the interview earlier this week. It started off with Andy Ruiz, but it ended with Latif Coyote. And he said that he knew something was wrong when he fought Luis Ortiz. You can take this for a grain of salt, whatever you know. Most people that watch the fight and found out that Ortiz got popped that time after that, they know what I'm talking about. He said, he just never got tired. He was just getting stronger and stronger. He said, I knew something was wrong with Ortiz. I knew he was on something. And that's what, I paraphrased what Latif said, but, Latif Power Coyote. But he said he knew Ortiz was on something. And I know people that's being authentic and being genuine, and he was telling the truth. So if Ortiz got that much, pick me up from the pads that he took, and he would continue to take them, it's hard not to kind of take away from what Wilder's doing, because obviously I watched Casual Boxing Talk video where he was breaking down film with him facing Malik Scott. But the thing about it is, when you break down film of people, you know, I'm talking about Ortiz when he fought Malik Scott, not Deontay Wilder, not that BS in Puerto Rico. And it was BS with Herrera that beat Danny on that card. I mean, Herrera did beat Danny on the card, but Danny got the decision. But when you break down film, the number one thing that you actually want to do, you want to find a fight with a guy that has a similar stature, style, or whatever you believe the style that Ortiz is gonna have to fight with Wilder, which was the Tony Thompson fight. And Tony Thompson, out of shape, kind of exposed Ortiz for being a one-handed fighter and being very limited. And I believe Wilder, he doesn't have the poise of Tony Thompson. And Tony Thompson is good people, man. I mean, he good people. He look out for your boy. He look out for a lot of us in the boxing groups and giving us personal interviews and chatting with us. I mean, I have so much respect for Tony Thompson. But yeah, that's, you know, he kind of exposed Ortiz a little bit for being a one-handed fighter. And, you know, we gonna see what Wilder gonna have to do. But he can't look past Ortiz. I'll tell you that right now. If he looks past Ortiz, man, he gonna be sorry that he did. But he got length, he got height, he got speed, he got power, he got youth over Ortiz. But Ortiz is the one heavyweight, even, I don't know without the pads, but he's the one heavyweight that I think can actually take away a guy's best asset. He's the most skillful heavyweight in my opinion. His IQ is matched by no other heavyweight. I don't identify Wilder, Joshua. Parker has some skills, but it don't translate to the ring. I mean, but I look at, you know, Luis Ortiz in the heavyweight division is in a class of his own. He's very skilled. He's limited as well with that one hand, but he's skilled. And he's dangerous. So Wilder looking past him, and like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Ortiz beat Wilder. I'm sorry, it wouldn't. But Wilder's promising another performance like with Bermane Stiverne, and we gonna see, and we gonna be on to the next video. And I got good videos coming up, man. Trust me, I already got some in the vault. Like some days I just load up on some good video topics, and I got one that really gonna blow your mind coming later on tonight with two middleweights. You'll know when you see it. And we on to the next video. We gone.